Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wingcat Sports, and it's our weekly Red Wings breakdown. A 1-1 start to the season, which isn't really that bad. We kind of figured it might have been around the 1-1. We just lost to the team that we thought we would beat, and we beat the team we thought we lost.
Right, right.
So
It was weird because, like I said, I really thought they'd come out against Pittsburgh, a team that they're going to be fighting for a playoff spot, and I thought it would be a much better performance.
Defensively, they did play well. They only let up 28 shots, which is what you want per game.
Yeah,
But Husso blew it.
And because of that, probably he was put on waivers today. So I feel bad for that. You know, everyone was kind of rooting for him to make a comeback and play. We've seen him play some phenomenal games. We've seen him play some real stinkers too. And he's just too inconsistent. They had to make room, I guess, because of Christian Fisher's
Christian
injury.
Fisher got injured.
I don't know who they brought up yet.
I'm assuming they're bringing up the one guy who made the team. I would assume. Yeah.
What his name is?
Whatever.
The tough guy.
The tough guy. Yeah. I assume they're going to bring him up because that was kind of Fisher's role up here, was to be a tough guy.
Oh, yeah. He could fight that tough guy for the Rangers tomorrow night. Who's the big guy?
Rempe?
8 feet tall or whatever his name is.
Rempe.
He loses every fight. He's so damn big.
But
yeah, it was Pittsburgh game was one of the worst. It was just terrible.
One thing I didn't I mean, overall, you played pretty evenly with them. You had more shots than them. You had just as many hits. You won just as many faceoffs. You had I guess you kind of failed yourself on the power play opportunity, only getting one goal off of 5 opportunities.
They looked good in the first period. But then after second and third was all Pittsburgh. It was just, I don't, and like I said, Husso let up a couple softies, which kind of hurts. But all in all, like I said, I thought they just did not play well in that game, in the Pittsburgh game. I wasn't expecting much against Nashville because Nashville's supposed to be a powerhouse.
It was a normal kind of game against Nashville from what you expected from last year with how the Wings usually played, right? They let up 42 shots, but Talbot, guy who we were iffy on this year, didn't how he played, 42 shots shutout.
He sure shut my mouth. I mean, I was like, whoa.
You only had from what I saw, because I didn't get to watch too much of the game, because obviously I'm working during most of the times of these games. What I saw, Talbot was making some great saves. He was playing well, and it's what you want to see. If you have Talbot and Lyon playing the way they need to play, you're going to be good throughout this year.
It was odd because I think we only had like 22 shots on goal that game.
22.
And
exactly.
It felt like they were much better offensively than that. That's not a lot of shots.
Block shot. There were 12 block shots. But when you look at it for the Red Wings standpoint, you out hit them. You lost about 8 more faceoffs than them, equal to the power play opportunities. But what the big stat was for you, you also had 31 block shots against Nashville.
Wow.
So there's a total of 73 shots towards the net, and you had 31 blocked.
It sure did feel like they played better offensively than that. I mean, it's going to be a problem all year long. It seems like it's been a problem for a while. We need to get a guy like Glendening used to be for us, somebody who win faceoffs consistently. Against Pittsburgh, that was one of the problems, was that guys like Comfer, he only won 2 out of 14 faceoffs the whole game.
Yeah.
It was like horrible. You got to be able to at least be close to 50-50. I mean, it was not good.
But
and
as long as you, like I said, as long as we can keep on winning, be consistent. I mean, you pick your guys, pick your battles. Conference Rob probably going to be the best with faceoffs, but Larkin's usually pretty good. Kopp, even though he usually sucks, I mean, he had a goal, surprisingly. Kopp
played well. Everyone played well in that Nashville game. It was a heck of a game.
No.
I don't. And like I said, this was their problem last year's consistency. Putting together, not be Jekyll and Hyde so much this year.
Yeah, but
I mean, really, we have said it over and over again. Last year, they should have been a 100-point team, easy.
Yeah,
that March was inexcusable the way they played for that whole month. And against teams they had no business losing to when you're trying to make the playoffs. Um, Nothing against Arizona or San Jose or nothing, but you got to win.
You gotta win.
You got to beat those really bad teams. And when you're fighting for a playoff spot, and any one of those at one point would have got us in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like I
But
said, we got to start from the very beginning this year and be more consistent. Um, because I know it's going to be a logjam for that final two
yes, it
playoff
is.
wild card spots.
Looking ahead on the week, you have a home and home with the Rangers. Not technically a home and home because there's 3 days in between them, but you're going to play the Rangers in New York on Monday, which again, this is what's kind of coming out right the same day as the game. And then you're going to play them on Thursday at home, and then you're going to go to Nashville. So I expect you probably to split with the Rangers. I don't know if you're going to beat Nashville in Nashville with how they played against you.
That's a tough week. I mean, you're
So
playing
you might go 1-2 this week. Let's hope for like
the
2-1.
If you can go 1-2 this week, I think that would be a good thing because, or come out with a tie at least. If you can do that, get a point.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rangers are top notch, and Nashville's top notch. It was a good win that you beat them. We know what our goalie situation is better now. It's going to be Talbot and Lyon for the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see, like I said, who the Wings kind of bring up.
Yeah. See who they fill in. But yeah, the Rangers games aren't going to be easy. Neither is that Nashville game. But 3 games this week, typical schedule you usually have during the week in an NHL schedule. 3 games. Like I said, hopefully we can come out 2-1. I expect more of a 1-2 record this week.
And we gotta get more from that second line because that second line was probably the worst line the last 2 games.
I know they rotated lines around, but I didn't fully get to see.
I haven't noticed Stephen Kane being out there yet. Tarasenko's made some noise.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to get the top 2 lines have got to carry this team scoring wise. They got to show up, and Dylan Larkin shows up every game, plays his ass off.
Yeah, you got to worry about. You have to worry about the goaltending. Like Sherzerkin, he's a great goaltender. Even though he did have an OT loss, they lost to Utah. I had him in my fantasy lineup, and with a loss to Utah, got that 5 goals playing the defunct Arizona Coyotes. I don't know what's going on there, but he's a good goalie.
Somebody told me Utah might be a playoff team this year.
They're looking good. They're looking good.
And maybe the new environment, they got a new owner, right?
Yep.
Maybe the whole organization, because I heard that guy was probably one of the worst.
Yes,
in the
he
league.
was one of the worst owners in the league. But my God.
So, I mean, it makes a difference. We are seeing it with the Lions. We are seeing it with the Tigers and hopefully with the Wings. Ownership matters. Ownership matters.
Looking at the stats so far this year, yes, it's only been 2 games, but averages for the Rangers. Goals for, they've averaged about 5 goals a game so far this year. 5.5, so they scored 6 goals one game, 5 goals another game.
And they got a hell of a goaltender.
Goals against, they've so far allowed 3 goals in both their games, or I guess they allowed a small amount, but they're averaging 3 goals for through their first 2 games. Averaging about 37 shots a game between, again, the 2 games that they played, 28.
If they're playing us, I think you get up that by probably about 10. They'll be about 45 against us.
Yeah, they had a 6-0 loss to Utah in 6-5 loss to Utah in overtime, and they beat Pittsburgh 6-0 the first day.
Yeah, they pretty much spanked Pittsburgh.
So it is going to be interesting. Now, the fun thing is, you play them 3 times this year. You're going to play them twice in the beginning, and then you play them again in November, and then you're done with the Rangers for the year, surprisingly. So, early
I'm always
games.
glad to be done with the good teams early because, man.
And then kind of just looking at Nashville's averages to kind of start the year through their first couple games. They're 0-2.
What was their seeding last year?
I think they were one of the wild card teams.
Right, they're in the middle, but they're always a good team.
But
they got really good goaltenders.
They've averaged a game they've only averaged a goal and a half through their first 2 games, and goals against is 3.5. per game so far, and averaging about 39 shots a game and 21 against. So their defense is pretty good. So I guess we'll see
Are
what
we done with them
happens. But
after Saturday?
yes, we're also done with them. You don't play them again.
Yeah.
So,
In the old days, us in Nashville, I mean, old days, they've all
well,
been around
in the
for 30
Western Conference when we were
But I
playing
mean,
in the West,
that was a rivalry. That was
well,
a
yeah, we
big
always met
time.
each other in the playoffs, but that is what it is.
They got cool uniforms. I always liked
Another few things we forgot to talk about before we wrap up the injuries. Right, we mentioned Christian Fisher being injured. We mentioned Husso being waived. Another injury that did happen this week, that opens the door for Johansson, is Jeff Petrie being injured. Now Justin Hall did get called up for the Petrie injury,
Yeah,
but
I was surprised to see him in the Nashville game, but he didn't play bad.
so we'll see fully what ends up happening with all these injuries to start out the season. But
That's why it's good we have some depth in Grand Rapids. I mean, we do have some players we can call up. So I mean, I'm not too worried about that. Uh, I'm surprised they're bringing up the goon if that's who you think they're
I think
bringing
they
up,
would. I think they could.
not Casper, who deserved to be up with the
I
team.
think they'll
for
bring
play
him
well.
up. I think they'll bring up the muscle because you're losing the muscle. Plus, you're playing the Rangers this week, and with Matt Rempe probably going to be trying to fight somebody, you might as well bring up somebody who's going to fight back.
Right.
So that's what I think they're going to end up doing. But I don't know exactly who they're calling up yet. With all that being said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the video around. Let me know what you think is going to happen this week and with what happened last week. And until next time, see everybody soon.